Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I don't know if you're actually watching this on Thanksgiving, but that's when we are uploading this video is on Thanksgiving. So if you're watching it on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. So what are you going to do today, this Thanksgiving Day? Are you going to watch football? Are you going to spend your whole morning in the kitchen preparing for a meal? Are you going to be packing up so that you can go off to a family member's house to experience the party? Are you going to be putting on your stretch pants so that you can be ready for that big feast that's coming? You know, Thanksgiving is a wonderful holiday. It's an interesting holiday, actually, because, you know, it's one of those times where we oftentimes get together with family and friends, and a lot of times maybe not so much friends, but family. And for some, it's that only time of the year where you're actually gathering with not just your most immediate family, but extended family as well. You know, that's how Thanksgiving is. It can be this joy-filled time of getting together with family, or it can be a tense, anxious time of getting together with family, right? Making sure or hoping that Uncle Albert doesn't bring up politics again as you're getting ready to eat. You see, that's kind of how Thanksgiving is. It's times for us to get together, and sometimes those are joy-filled times, and sometimes they're difficult times. But my hope is that your Thanksgiving is good. And I want to share with you a scripture that I think speaks to this. It's Psalm 131. It says this: "How very good and pleasant is it when kindred live together in unity. It is like the precious oil on the head running down upon the beard, on the beard of Aaron, running down over the collar of his robes. It is like the dew of Hermon, which falls on the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord ordained his blessing, life forever." Now, I got to be honest with you. Every time I read that, I love how this begins, how good and pleasant when kindred live together. But then the next part about the precious oil going down over the head, down the beard, it kind of makes me think of gravy dripping off my chin and I needing a napkin, right? But you know, really what the psalmist is talking about here is what we all, I think, strive for. And that is unity with our kindred, unity with our family. And sometimes that's hard to get. And I think the psalmist understands that, because the psalmist knows that it is very good and very pleasant when kindred live together, when families live together, when families can find harmony together. But I think he's saying it because he realizes that there's probably also the potential of strife. And so it's a challenge. And here's the other thing about this passage. As he begins to extend what he's saying there, and he mentions Hermon, Mount Hermon and Mount Zion and Aaron, these are symbols. This oil, this idea of oil being poured down their head is like a welcome. It's a blessing. It's how you would bless someone into your house. It's a sign of invitation and hospitality. It's a sign of consecration, of marking this moment as a precious, special moment. And the thing is, it's not just within the family. It extends beyond. That's why the mention of Zion, it extends out. It starts from the individual family, then it extends out further and further and further until all are experiencing the harmony and the unity that is blessing. You know what? I think that's God's hope for us. You know, we live in a pretty divided, difficult time. I mean, there's lots of arguments that go on. It seems like we are so divided as a people, and yet this passage comes into the midst of it, and it doesn't start with let's try to fix society, let's try to fix culture, let's try to fix nation. It starts with let's look at family. Let's look at our kindred. Let's find a way to bring unity and harmony within the family, and then maybe it will then trickle out to those other places. I love that image. I love that idea. Because if we look at places in our world that are broken and divided and we don't know how to fix them, maybe we need to look internally at our own families and begin to say, we've got to figure out how we can come together, how we can find unity and peace and harmony within our family. Again, Thanksgiving is a wonderful time for family, but it can also be that tense, anxious time. And so my hope and my prayer for you on this Thanksgiving is that you had a moment, or you have a moment, to experience the unity of family, to see what harmony can look like and feel like when kindred can come together. And perhaps if we all begin to focus on that, that will begin to spread further and further and further, so that the nation will be changed. The world will be changed. It's got to begin somewhere. How very good and pleasant it is when kindred come together. Happy Thanksgiving.